rest of this burden was on people themselves. So when an owner of a flat or house received this money, not in kind, but of course in a project from the mayor office, so they took from their pockets the rest of money, which is now around 1 to 3,000 euros, for example. It depends on the house, how big it is. So it is a burden shared between different stakeholders and people themselves. It makes sense, it made sense, and many people wanted to sell these flats outside or to rent even. They could, because of this energy class A we have, it's a mandatory, yeah? So they could get better money after that. So it was more practical, let's say, way. And also on other issues, we start to, I mean, every city, council, mayor council, whatever, kind of value and so on, they took their own initiative and promoted some innovative original approach how to cover these funds. And it was like part of their campaign. We have elections next year, so it's good to put an agenda to see how people, and at the end, everybody gets some benefits. State, because we fulfill the target, and also people, because we get less cost in energy invoice, whatever.
We can't forget one thing. According to European legislation, by 2019, every public building new must be near zero energy building, and after 2020, every new building should be near zero energy building. So it is very ambitious target, and it will cost. But I think it's the only way how to achieve the goals, not 2020 but 2030, which are not binding goals, but they are anyhow set.
Inspired goals.
They are inspirational.
Yeah, just one question regarding investment. I was just wondering, well, I'm not the expert either, so maybe my question is not, but still I will ask.
I'm not expert as well.
It is clear that this type of business needs lots of million, yeah?
Yeah.
You already invested lots of million euros in this, so Georgia should also invest. So are there some kind of calculations, like we are investing that much money, for example, how much we will save instead of in return, let's say? Maybe what if we will do new regulations or I don't know, rules regarding new constructions as you do, that future construction all have to be this type, otherwise you will not get any permission to construct it. And invest in future rather renovating existing old buildings, I don't know.
Okay. I think there are calculations if you are investing into the renovation that you are saving. And especially this is the best vehicle how to sell it to the owners of the flat, that you save your bill. But there is, the return on investment is very long. But we are investing in these things not because of return on investment from financial point of view, but because of the climate. I feel it in Slovakia. I don't know in Georgia how you feel the change. I feel it. Drier and hotter summer. Sometimes rains which are falling down liters of water, and then a month without any water. So the change is here. If we will think only pure on mathematical and economical basis, they will not stop it. And that must be always and always repeated. These issues are not only economy, it is future. Our future? No. We will be dead at that time when the real disaster will come. But our kids and the kids of our kids. And I know it's emotional, it's not rational, and a lot of political parties will not count on that. And it's very difficult to sell to the voters. But this is mandatory to think about that. Yeah, and then supported by, okay, you will save your energy bill. But you have to start with the future thinking, not current return on investment. Because in the current return on investment, I will say you example. We have for small residential investors, we have a program they can buy renewable energy sources, solar heating, solar photovoltaic, thermal pumps, wind wind energy and change the boiler from the coal to biomass or to pellets. The return of this investment, I calculated for my house. I needed 10,000 euro, and I would get 3,000 euro on heat pump as a support subsidy. So 7,000 euro. But if I calculate just pure on the cost basis, it doesn't make sense for me, because the return is 8 years, but the real life cycle of the equipment is 9 years
Almost the same.
or 7 years. So my equipment will be obsolete when I will start to recover all my investment. So should I stop thinking about that? No, no. I just invested last week 3,000 euro in the collection of the rainwater, rainwater, because I am paying for the irrigation on my garden. So I can do it. I can still afford to pay the bill. But the question is, if I will stop thinking about the future, if everybody will stop thinking about the future, fine. We will live nicely. I will save a lot of money, and I can go to the holiday to Georgia, Batumi, or wherever. But where is the point? You, me, we will not face the real change of the climate. You maybe. Arjan, you maybe too. And then it will be disaster. For us, it's not so important, but if we will lose our responsibility for the future, where we are living.
Another two questions. You mentioned about certification of workers
Yes.
for installing the household appliances. And you mentioned also auditors who are involved in your project. What do you think? Is it a good idea to incorporate the certification of auditors in the potential
Agency or fund?
or something like this? And
Okay.
sorry, and the second question is regarding the countries who have own SEAPs, sustainable energy action plans.
On regional or municipal.
How do you communicate with the action plans of the?
Okay, so the first point, whether it makes sense or does not make sense to incorporate this task. We got this task from the ministry because ministry has been responsible to enlist the people which are certified. And we have been established like the executive arm, so we just got this task in the contract, we got a little bit higher budget, and we can do that. And we are not only responsible for certification, we are responsible for continuous education of these people. So we are running seminars, workshop with the new things, like new legislation is coming, so we are explaining. So this is normal task. The second point was, sorry,
SEAPs.
SIAP. Okay, we are not involved in preparing SIAP as a SIAP. Why? Because in Slovakia, only 6 cities are included in the Covenant of Mayors. And only 4 of them submitted their SIAP. Only 4. So we are really, it is very small community of the cities which joined this program. What we are doing, and we have been participating, and that was our financial income, we are participating on the creation of the development of the social and economical development strategy for the cities. But that was open market competition. In some cases we won, and we have been the part of the consortia who created this. It is part of the SIAPS is then only small part of the big program strategy of the city. So, but it was not SIAP, it was just energy related part of the development program of the city or region. That we have been participating, but on this 4 SIAPs, no.
Now, do you help municipalities to achieve these SEAP goals?
Actually, they are not asking us. They are, these 4 cities which have, they are sufficiently big to manage it by themselves.
Thank you.
Actually, I wanted to ask something similar. I forgot to introduce myself at the previous set of the questions I had. My name is Georgia Bulashvili and I represent Georgian Energy Efficiency Center. That's an non-governmental organization, and meanwhile I'm country expert for the Covenant of Mayors responsible for the municipal energy efficiency activities. And the question was kind of continuation with Nico over here, being main implementing agency of energy efficiency. and having municipalities as an areas where the main energy transaction takes place, you are somehow interacting with each other, directly or indirectly. And what are these indirect interaction in between? That's one of my questions. And the second question is, the funds you described goes through your agency or through the housing agency. Are those funds disbursed as grants, or it's kind of those money has to be
Okay.
flow back somehow with the interest rates or without? How it's done?
I think the first question has been partly answered.
Yes.
But regarding SEAPS, we are now together with other member of consortia. We submitted Horizon 2020 project, which will be evaluating SEAPS, assessing, not evaluating, assessing how they are evolving, because the SEAPS has been created in a certain period of time. Then after
Monitoring,
years,
you mean?
it's more assessing. We can't say we are monitoring because that is politically not suitable or acceptable, so we are assessing. But we'll see. It's not approved yet, but it will be in December. So regarding your second question, these funds, they are, majority of them, they are grants, what we are managing. Regarding financial instruments is support via interest rate decrease or subsidy. In our agency, we have only 100 millions available for financial instruments in this operating period. Out of 1.4 or 5.3 billion in energy, we have only financial instruments are only 100 million. But vice versa, in the housing fund, majority, in 90%, 95% is financial instrument. So it's a recurring fund, which is
Revolving fund.
revolving.
Okay.
Recurring revolving.
That's-
So
yeah,
they are providing loans, they are getting subsidized interest rate, increasing, returning, and investing again and again.
And in your case, the source of that 100 million,
European funds.
it's in Europe,
European
not the state.
No, not the state.
Thank you.
Okay, very good observation. So there is even further motivation us to become European member states to be eligible for this funding.
Yes, for
Good
sure.
motivation. Yes, definitely.
Just don't wait. Do it as quickly as possible.
It's
I
not
know.
up to us.
Yeah, I know.
We are still waiting for visa, so still waiting. So unfortunately, there is no other option but to wait. But of course, as we said, at the very end, funds are there, but the capacity of implementing something, policy kind of transformation, is really with us. So now nobody else can do it instead of us, and I think we have to be prepared for that, whether money is 5 million, 10 or 500. So I think this capacity definitely needs to be created in-house in order to be ready if this opportunity comes to us. In many cases, we unfortunately were not eligible as the energy, EU member states. We are not eligible funds coming even pre-accession type of portfolio or whatever. So we are quite isolated. Just what we are asked for to do is to transfer some regulations and implement it. We don't have the derogations for the methodologies, how the targets will be calculated, but we have definitely limitation for availability and eligibility for the resources. So I think this will be one of the very big discussions that we'll be having with within the Association Council meeting, which we'll be having the Georgia EU Association Council is planned very shortly. And Ministry of Energy's position will be in every case of target setting, will be what are the resources and how it's contributed. It will not be just only absorbing the commitments and liabilities, which some of the NGOs, some of the society members are waiting for, but it's not only taking the obligations. If there will be no opportunity coming with these obligations, sorry, but we will not be committing to anything. This is very clear, because we experience it with our hydro developments. Because none of our projects, because of the cross-border trade, did not qualify for the CR trading, because the validation was not performed by this clean energy receiving country, which we contributed globally in the climate effort, but unfortunately we were not appreciated in the same manner as the other countries are eligible for. So the major request that we'll be having in our discussions, and I think this instrument will not be limited to Georgia, I'm very hopeful for that, to make Georgia beneficiary for this multilateral instruments which is available, which is the climate funds, which is multi-billion, something like, I don't know, whatever is there. Some funds that will be available to contracting parties, not together with the pre-accession status, but just contracting parties being the contracting parties of the energy community, and many, many other instruments we know, whether it's multilateral or bilateral, but we have to really, I mean, we have very good strategic partners, and I think IFIs and donors will be very much motivated to help us, provided that we are helping ourselves with commitments from the budget, with commitments of some good policy practices, and dedication to this issue. If it's not there, you rightly mentioned that I mean, nobody will be giving us money just to make us comfortable. No, we have to do the work in a quality manner, what these funds are targeted for. So I think this is the combination of kind of more compatible interests that we will be having. But as I said, this is the bundled commitment. Challenges, as I initially said, but with opportunities. So we would rather take the challenge, but use at maximum opportunities that will be coming with these challenges and obligations. So this is the approach, and I think it's fully shared within the government in this respect. As I said, to make our politicians or people comfortable, I mean, you rightly mentioned that if you are looking ahead, of course, the political cycle is 4 years. Okay, our life cycle is 80 years, 100 years. Then what? I mean, we are thinking about the future. A lot of things are done because of the future. So politicians, kid might be politician as well if you will give them chance to be the politicians, right? So I think this is the long-term perspective, and if the market would be enough, market incentives would be enough to save in order to be efficient or to generate the financial return, it was not working even when the prices were 4 times more than in Georgia. So for decades, this was very instrumental for the European countries to push for renewable promotion for their security or climate reasons or whatever, but it was not economical and financially viable. We all know that. Even today, market price might be 3-4 US cents, but the feed-in tariffs are 3-4 times more. So some of our opponents are saying that you are paying too much for renewable development, but sorry, but market does not incentivize renewable development anywhere, when even the end user tariffs are 5 times more. So that's why the incentives from the government and this initiative should be spread out within some reasonability factors. Of course, I'm not saying that we should be paying $1 for something. What is the cost of not having electricity, for example, and what is the extent of the readiness to pay just to get the electricity and lights on? It's not, of course, the benchmark, but the benchmark is what are the full package of values and attributes which comes with the money, with the security, with the comfort, with the employment, with the economic development. I don't know, a lot of elements that cannot be quantified and made tangible, but it definitely keeps the value that we share with our European partners. So with that, I guess we are ready to
just
finalize.
wrap up and finalize. If someone have final comments or questions, okay. Okay. I'll just summarize the meeting. Thank you everyone for your comments, for your presentations, presenters, and after this presentation, after this today's meeting, tomorrow, after tomorrow, the organizers will share you the presentations and documents, recommendations made by the experts. And if you have any comments, you can just send us on email, and yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Gracias.